has been far too long since I've been able to do this, especially for a home win. The Vegas Golden Knights win against the Detroit Red Wings 5-3 in a fantastic game. Purely from the entertainment standpoint, Vegas goes up 2-0 and then they blow that lead, which was fine because it happened over an extended period of time rather than back-to-back, right? And then in the third period, okay, getting ahead of myself. Vegas gets on the board first because Pavel Orofiev streams in and then like no look just snipes it 5-hole past Reimer. Reimer was not ready for it and it was an amazing play by him. And on the board, 1-0, Doro with his 8th of the season. Then a 2-on-1 up the ice and Eichel with the perfect sauce over to Jonathan Marchessault who snipes it 2-0. And now that we have a little bit more of an idea of what the Golden Knights are going to look like in the future, every Marchessault goal is exciting and fantastic and also a little bit like, oh, because that contract is going to be just that much more expensive, right? And the secondary assist goes to Noah Hanifin. So his first point as a Vegas Golden Knight because in the defensive zone, the Detroit Red Wings are in transition and Noah Hanifin sticks his stick out, intercepts this pass and gets it to Eichel and off to the races, right? And so congrats Noah Hanifin, but with less than 30 seconds to go, the Detroit Red Wings score off of a really good deflection goal from Rasmussen, who was being pushed down by McNabb and tips it, a shot from Seider, and it goes perfectly in past Hill. Not great because it's less than 30 seconds to go. Not great in general because the other team scored, but specifically because 30 seconds left in the first, and so all that momentum, all that good, and that first period was really good from the Vegas Golden Knights. They forechecked well, they forechecked hard. They took what Vancouver did to them a couple of days ago and turned it against Detroit, and it was great. And then it's like, okay, whatever, but hey, we still have the lead after the first period. That's fantastic. In the second period, Vegas Golden Knights are on a power play that ends because JT Compher decides to like initiate and throw down Jonathan Marchessault, who then retaliates. Like he slashed Marchessault's stick in half. And then Marchessault, like, he sticks up for himself, and he gets a double minor for that? I don't get it. They both got roughing, and it ended up just basically being like, hey, we're giving Detroit a power play here. And so it canceled out, well, 4-on-4, and then Detroit had a shortened power play, but it was just really weird. I don't know. Even on the app, it says Jonathan Marchessault has two-minute minors for roughing against JT but nothing else happened in the second period, essentially. And we go into the third period, and Detroit on a power play, and JT Compher is the one who scores a deflection goal from Seider again. Like, it's just Compher this time. Of course it is, because he had that spat with Marchessault, but Marchessault already scored a goal, right? So it's even, right? About halfway through the third period, Eichel goes into the zone all alone and is challenged by like 4 Detroit Red Wings all at once, but wins this puck battle and sends it over into the left point, which happens to be McNabb. And Brisson touched it a little bit on the way there, so that's cool, but McNabb skates up and sends it on, goes off of Seider's jersey and past Reimer and in. It is a goal, 3-2 Vegas. 3-3 Detroit. At least that's what it's felt like, because 30 seconds later, after a huge series of unfortunate events, I read that book series, well, I think most of it, I don't know. Starts with Kolazar falling to the ice, and he stumbles and Waugh collides with him, and in the offensive zone, he like flips, lands on his side. I'm sure it knocked the wind out of him. He goes to the bench and he's feeling it, you know? But that essentially creates a 5-on-3 for Detroit the other way. And Whitecloud blocks a shot with his ankle where there's no padding, and he skates backwards into the corner, and he's clearly hurt, but Detroit collects the rebound, and Gostisbehere spins backward, backhand shoots it 5-hole past Hill, and it goes in, 3-3 tie, and it's just one of those goals where it's like, man, a ton of stuff was happening before that. It kind of want Hill to stop that, but at the same time, it was essentially, at that point, a 2-on-0, and like, yeah, is what it is. It just felt awful because it was 30 seconds after that other goal from McNabb. McNabb's third of the season, by the way. Former Vegas Golden Knight David Perron had 2 assists out of those 3 goals for Detroit, so yeah. But current Vegas Golden Knight, just having a career year, with 3 minutes left to go, scored a huge emotional goal, Jonathan Marchessault. This line specifically had been doing this really well all night with the Eichel, Marchessault, Barbashev line, and they forechecked really well, created turnovers, pressure, and had shots, and then would collect the rebound and be able to cycle it through, and they did that really well tonight, especially here. Eichel collects the puck from behind the net, sends it back to Hanifin. Hanifin sends it over to Petro, sends a shot on, and it's blocked by Rasmussen, who is clearly hurt from that shot. It went right where you don't want it to, more than probably anywhere else. Makes its way to Barbashev, who's in the slot, who passes it with a one-touch pass perfectly to Eichel, and he shoots it on as he's falling in it, so it looks really, really cool, especially because it's saved by Reimer, but then Marchessault swings home that rebound to go past Reimer and make it 4-3 with less than 3 minutes to go. Of course, it's Jonathan Marchessault. And I'm so happy. And also so like, this contract is gonna be so expensive. They pulled Reimer immediately, and Hanifin gets the puck behind the net, collects it, sends it up to Barbashev, sends a perfect pass over to Marchessault, skates to center ice, sends it on, empty netter, hat trick for Jonathan Marchessault. Goals 33, 34, and 35, and his third hat trick of the year. Because of course it is in this contract year. I swear I wanted him to go into the locker room after getting the first star and have a contract waiting for him right there. I want it so bad to be $7 million for like the next 4 years with a full no move, because that's doable, and it's looking to be more than that, and that's making me just but hey, let's not worry about that right now. Just in the back of our head, we won. Jonathan Marchessault with another hat trick, and this is just such a good, feel-good win because it's the first home win in 6 games, and it's the first win in 5 games, and it's just such a good feeling because Detroit wanted it too. They need these points as well, and Los Angeles currently losing to the Dallas Stars, and Edmonton lost in overtime, a shootout technically because the weird offsides thing by millimeters, to the Buffalo Sabres, so double-edged sword there. But the Flames also lost, the Blues lost, Nashville won, so just a mostly good day for the Vegas Golden Knights organization, especially because in our own barn we handled business well. The fact that Detroit had it tied at 3s at that point was good for Detroit. They were very opportunistic with their chances, but did not paint the clear picture of what actually happened in the game because Vegas controlled the game for a large portion of it. Noah Hanifin's first points as a Vegas Golden Knight, 2 assists. Eichel had 3 assists tonight, and Marchessault with 3 goals. Still waiting for Mantha's first points, but he was on the ice for that first goal with Pavel Dorofeev. So one step at a time, especially because Marchessault's contract is one of those steps. Please, just a really, really good feel-good win for the Vegas Golden Knights against the Detroit Red Wings. Our next game is Tuesday against the Seattle Kraken, and it should be a good one. It's in Seattle. Dalton, go have fun. Be loud for Vegas, please. With LA losing tonight and Vegas winning, they have 1 game in hand on us, but we're tied in points. We're also tied in regulation wins and regulation overtime wins, but we have more wins than them, so that whole system is weird. But because they have the 1 game in hand, they're still going to be technically above us in the standings, but we'll see how this all goes. And, you know, yeah, fun. Hey, winning is fun. Great. That's going to do it for Game 64's Nightly Review. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.